going on, guys? Tyler J-Tech today. We're going to go over some air inspections with this International. Some of the things we're going to be checking. First off, the first test we're going to take is our build-up pressure time. It should be about 85 to 100 psi within the first 40 seconds. So the other things that we'll be checking is our governor cut in and cut out. We'll also be checking to see if we have any leaks in our secondary or our primary tanks. There's going to be a couple other things that I'll show you as we go through the system, a couple extra specs and other things like that. So let's get right on to it. All right, so first things first, we're gonna, like I said, do our build-up pressure spec. You want to start these, any type of air system check, you want to start off in a high idle. So we'll go ahead and do that. Wait for lights. See this light right here? This is our low pressure light. The other thing that we're going to be checking is when that goes off. That should go off about 75 psi. So we'll go ahead and start our 40 seconds and build-up time. We'll go right about. The next thing we're going to be checking is our cutout, our governor cutout, and you'll hear it cut out at about 125 psi. And what that's doing is it's actually releasing an exhaust valve in the air compressor, which allows the air compressor to not really compress any more air. It'll also shut off our air dryer. So look here, there it goes right there. So now the next thing that we'll be checking is we'll go through a leak down test. The way we'll do our leak down test, we're actually going to do 3 of them. First one, we're going to have it with our brakes up, our parking brake applied. So right now we've got it applied. We'll shut it off and we will start a 2-minute timer. We want to make sure we don't drop under 4 psi throughout the 2 minutes. I got a timer going back here now, so we'll just sit and watch this for a moment. Alright, so now we're going to want to build our pressure back up to 120 and make sure we get that governor to cut out again. Or 125, I should say. at least. Cut everything off and do that 2-minute timer one more time. And we'll see what kind of pressure we lose. Applied. So let me go ahead and prep up for the next one. Let's get our low pressure light back up and running, and then we'll build the pressure back up again, and then we'll use the service brakes. I'll be right back with you. Alright, so now we got to back up the pressure. We'll go ahead and turn the truck off and apply our service brake and see what kind of drop we get. We'll hold for 2 minutes.
It's still dropping as you're holding it. That's not true.
Alright, so after we have, put our service brakes to the test, it looks like we held our pressure pretty well. One thing that I forgot to mention is we want to allow our brake pedal to stabilize before we start our timer. So it looks like it's stabilized around 110, maybe 115. So that's a pretty good reading. We didn't drop a whole bunch. Obviously, off the initial press of the pedal, we dropped some, but that's going to happen regardless. So from here on out, we can build our pressure back up, and then we'll do a walk around the vehicle and check all of our valves, our various valves, and check our brake chambers. We can check our airbags. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna get the pressure built up, and then we're gonna do a walk around. I'll be right back with you. All right, so like I said, we're gonna go ahead and do our walk around. During this walk around, we want to check all of our valves. Make sure that there's no air leaks. We don't hear any air leaks coming from them. We want to check our brake chambers. Just listen out for brakes. Another good thing that you can do is you can walk around and with a spray bottle, if we're getting our incorrect drops of pressure, if it's below that 4 psi, we would go around and start spraying the points on the truck, like the airbags that we got here, or our valves, or looking at our brake chambers. Those are things that we would spray. We could also look at even our cab systems, seeing if just checking all the lines and all the fittings necessary. The other thing that we can check is our connections at our tanks. Check our connections here at the tanks. Want to make sure those aren't leaking at all. And like I said, if you've got leaks, then you can walk around with a spray bottle spraying these things down, seeing if there's bubbles, spraying them down with soapy bottle of water. That will help. But yeah, let's go ahead and get down to our check valves. Let's check our check valves, and I'll explain how we do that here in a second. Alright, so when checking check valves, you're going to want to bleed a tank. You're going to drain the tank of all of its air and check and make sure that the other tank is still holding pressure. The reason we have check valves is if anything was to happen with one of the tanks, say it gets punctured for some way, maybe in an accident or something, that it still allows the driver to apply his brakes some way, shape, or form. So that's one of the reasons why the check valves are so important. So let's go ahead and drain one of the tanks and watch the pressure on the other one. We're going to drain the primary tank and watch the secondary tank and make sure that it doesn't leak out any. Alright, so Philip's going to drain the primary tank for us, and we're going to watch the secondary tank, make sure the pressure doesn't drop. As you can see, that primary tank is air pressure, but our secondary tank is holding it quite well. Alright, so now we're going to drain the secondary tank and watch for pressure drop in the primary tank. So if you could go ahead and drain that secondary tank, I would appreciate it, sir. You're awesome. So as you can see, our primary tank is holding pretty well, just as well as our secondary was holding. Looks like we don't have any issues with the check valves. You would want to drain the tank entirely, but as you can see, we're not having any issues. I don't think we're going to have any issues through the process. We're obviously not moving at all, and we're only got 30 psi left in the tank, so I think we're pretty good. But yeah, the last thing that we'll check is make sure that our governor will engage when we need it to. So what we're going to do is we're going to build it back up to pressure and, you know, hit the brakes a couple times, pump the brakes and get it to where it's a low pressure, and see if that governor kicks back in and allows our vehicle to build pressure back up, allows the air compressor to build back pressure. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. That'll be our final test. Now that we got our truck back up to pressure, we're going to check to make sure our governor will re-engage when necessary. The way we're going to do that is we're going to pump the brakes, get it to where it's got low pressure, and watch to see if our air pressure rises on either of our tanks. So that's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and start doing that. As you can see, it's building pressure like it's supposed to. The governor's kicked back in. The low pressure light has gone off. We're building pressure. Everything's looking good with our governor. Now this will continue to build up to 125 psi. Then, like it should, it will cut out, and it'll always cut back on when we're in need of the pressure. So as you can see, our pressure is coming up. Our low pressure light has gone off. Looks like the governor's doing its job, and it will continue to go up to about 120 to 125 psi. I just want to thank you guys for watching. This has been an air system inspection by Tyler Gibbs here at J-Tech. Have a great day, guys.